hold on one.
All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to open the meeting of the Commission of City Plan, Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. And we've been called to order. Doing a quick roll call, I can see we have a quorum, myself, James Quarto, Ella Miles, and Kathy Wozika, so we definitely have a quorum. And I would call for a motion to approve the minutes from our September 19th meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Is that Ella? Second.
Yes, Ella.
Motion by Ella, second by Jim. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? I'm going to abstain, I wasn't here.
Aye. Aye.
All right, so those minutes have been accepted and approved. Any communications? I see none on the agenda.
No, there is.
Are we talking about the?
No, but there is another communication. So Dan, do you want to bring that up? It was a referral from Kathy, as a matter of fact, from Preston.
We don't have that scanned, Deanna. You were just going to talk about it on the folder.
All right, hold on. Let me grab it in my folder. Here.
I don't even remember what we referred to.
October 24th at 7 p.m. Preston Town Hall. They're going to have a public hearing. They referred amendments to zoning regulations or section 12.3 of the Preston zoning regs, adding to section 12.3.2 detailed road design improvements within the village areas. So it sounds like it's a village district and you're doing some, you wanted some guidelines regarding the roads.
Right. What happened was that we got a LOTSUP grant, and the LOTSUP state funding, you can't use, you can only use their funding for just safety improvements unless you have a regulation that requires, you know, decorative,
Yeah.
you know, designs and whatever. So that's why we're adding that.
So we don't need to take any action.
Nope, you don't need to take any action.
All right.
All right, so thank you, Kathy, for explaining that. I didn't have any comments of staff here either for that.
So under new business, we have receipt of applications. Apparently there's 2 applications that have been filed, and we're just going to accept them tonight and not take any action. One is site development plan 1049. Is that correct?
Yep.
0 Myrtle Drive.
Yeah, it is. So,
Subdivision 437 at 439 Canterbury Turnpike.
so let's talk very briefly about them. 0 Myrtle Drive, the application is in front of wetlands. Just to remind you, this was a property that is next to the
FedEx and the St. Jude Commons.
St. Jude, yep, and a fairly large property. The development is really to prepare the site for future development. So it's really just construction pads, the road going in so that they can, you know, market the lots and see what they can, the site, so they can get some development there. So it's in front of wetlands now. And so we have not moved on and doing anything yet with CCP reviews.
I'll note for the record that David McKay is here for the applicant. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So Dave is here, but we, like I said, we weren't prepared to discuss it. We haven't done our full review. Wetlands is just they did a site walk on it. What day was it? Yesterday, Monday, for the Wetlands Commission, and wanted to look at the impact to the wetlands and there's a vernal pool, but it's with a fairly far distance away, but they wanted to look at that and the grading and the cutting that would be proposed.
Canterbury Turnpike, anything about that?
So subdivision 437 is 439 Canterbury Turnpike, which is actually a subdivision for what people call as the Business Park North properties. It's called right now 439 Canterbury Turnpike, but they have done some reconfiguration of like creating condos out there, condominiums of the lots. So I think there may be some changes to the street addresses. So, you know, before we do the agenda, and we want to make sure that, you know, from a legal standpoint, we do, you know, we're gonna It's a subdivision, but we recommended already that we're gonna have a public hearing on this in the public's, and for wetlands, they're having a public hearing in the public's interest. And because of the number of lots, you're required to do a public hearing as well in the subdivision regulations. So we wanted to make sure that we get the addresses right, you know, and make sure that we have the correct configuration of those lots before it, you know, comes forward. And we, like I said, it's very comprehensive. It's a lot to review, so.
So then so we're not taking any action.
No, nothing here. Kat, but one thing we can do, Dan said at the last meeting, Kathy, that you had mentioned that you wanted to do a site walk of the property.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that one of the things that we could discuss really briefly here is, we're gonna open the public hearing on November 21st. And then we could hold a site walk after that during the open public hearing. Obviously, no comments from the public and just a walk out there. We'd like to coordinate.
I think we would need a vote, a motion and a vote to do a site.
Yep, you would. I just want to kind of tell you that we spoke with the engineering firm and they would prefer to do it obviously during the week. It's November. It's going to be late in the month. So preferably like probably a 3-hour walk. I think it was 3 to 4 hours last time on the site. So probably something like a noon to 3 o'clock in the afternoon if you were to do something like that during the weekday. So I don't know how that affects you, Kathy, but that sounds
I
like.
could do it on a Monday or a Friday.
Well,
And I mean, if necessary, I could take some time off from work, but I mean, what does everybody else want to
I
do?
think we're getting way ahead of ourselves here because we're not going to discuss a site walk until we have a vote on it. So we'll discuss that at the next
Right.
meeting.
At this meeting or next meeting?
Well, I guess what I would say, Frank, though, is if you know that you're going to schedule a site walk and you open the public.
I
No,
don't know that we're going to schedule a
Okay.
site walk. That's what I'm saying.
I guess what I would say, let me clarify. If this 3, which we have a quorum, decides they want to have a site walk, it'd be helpful to the engineer to know when that was going to be to schedule it sooner, because if we meet on the 21st, it's going to push it into December.
We're not doing anything with this subdivision application tonight. We're not acting on it. So I don't think it's proper that we should schedule a site walk on.
Okay,
I think we should wait until the application is before us,
okay.
and then we can take a vote and determine whether we want a site walk.
But it is officially received now, just so you could, I'm just letting you know.
I understand, but I don't think, we're saying we're not gonna act on it, so we're not gonna act. If we're gonna start doing votes regarding sidewalks and everything else, then let's put the whole thing on the table right now.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable with
Okay,
taking a piece.
that's fine, that's fine. It was trying to facilitate the getting a date now. That's what we were trying to do.
I understand that, and I don't disagree with the concept. I just am not comfortable taking this piecemeal.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about it? What is the schedule for this? So it's been received.
Yeah.
It's officially received tonight.
Mhm.
Then at the next meeting, will the hearing be scheduled?
We're gonna have, yes, the public hearing, we're gonna have it scheduled for November 21st, because it's a subdivision and not a re-subdivision. We only have 65 days on this.
Right.
Even with the public hearing, if you decide to hold a public hearing, you are held to 65 days. So we are in a time crunch. So, unless they want to give us more time, but statutorily, we are forced to make a decision within 65 days. So we are opening the public hearing at the next.
At November. So what is that? What does the time period, what does that do to the time period? So that's
Well, we're
That's 30 days, and then
that's-
we have one more month after that
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
conclude. Right?
Yep, because 65, so it,
So
forgot
it would be November, December 20th, we would have to close the hearing, and then we'd have 65 days to act on it, right?
no, only it's for subdivision, because even though we don't have, even though you can hold a public hearing on a subdivision, you're allowed to hold it. Statutorily, only re-subdivisions follow that 65, 35, 65. A subdivision is held only to 65. You can hold a public hearing, but you're stuck in that 65 days. So that's
So
what
we have to act on it by December 20th.
would need to act on in December, unless the applicant can grant an extension, but they don't have to. You're really forced to make the decision.
Who's in NCDC?
NCDC is the applicant.
So, all right, so It's on the-
Personally, can we just talk about this a little bit more? Personally, I think that is such a tight time frame. I would feel comfortable scheduling a site walk.
I'm not,
All right, I don't know what the
Make a
rest of the
motion to
commission
whatever-
feels.
I'm not comfortable with it.
Any of the other commission members feel comfortable with it?
I personally cannot do a walk, physically, especially hours. I'd be up for maybe a drive-through, a drive-by, or showing you where this is.
I mean, you could drive by your own and with the address, you know, we could tell you where it is, but it's
Yeah.
not gonna give you the inside of the, you know, but you don't have to go out there. Even
Yeah.
if there is a sidewalk, you don't need to, you know,
Yeah,
go.
I would do it.
Would I be able to go out there before without a formal site walk? I can go personally, right? If they let me on the property.
We'd have to get permission from NCD.
Okay. Okay, then I'll talk to you about that later.
So.
Thank you.
So it'll be on the agenda for November 21st. So, and I see on the agenda something regarding discussion regarding procedures for upcoming meetings. Do you
Yeah.
have any information about this?
That was kind of what I was just kind of going on. The procedure is that we're going to schedule the public hearing for the subdivision because of the number of lots, but it doesn't extend your time. You don't have all those extra days that you normally do with the re-subdivision or a special permit.
And I'll tell you right now, just so you know, so hopefully we'll have a full meeting in November, because I will not be here in December.
Okay. And we could all,
The meeting's December 20th.
Dan, does he have the date?
It's December 19th.
December
Yeah.
9th.
Here then, I'm gonna be out of, country.
Is there, could we do continue the meeting to the public hearing to a date that is better for you? So that we could be there earlier, probably not later, but maybe earlier,
In December?
yeah?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Okay, so we can talk at that, again, you don't wanna talk about dates, we can talk about that in November.
Yeah.
The meeting is that,
I'm just telling you, I'm gonna be out of the country from December 19th through January
Okay.
5th.
so maybe we wanna do that a little bit earlier in December, so that we can, accommodate having you there as a special meeting.
I mean, if you want to, I don't have to be there, I'm not special.
Oh, yes, you are. You should be there.
I'm just,
We can talk about it, but look at your calendars, it would probably be a Tuesday night, I'm imagining.
so, in any event, we're not taking action on either of these applications tonight. Under extension requests, we have none,
No,
no bond reductions or releases.
not at this time.
I see we have executive session.
I would like to go in executive session, so quickly, on that, so we will ask David to go, and Dan, if you could.
Thank you
stop the
for
phone.
stopping by.
You're welcome. See you next month.
Thank you.
Someone want to make a motion for that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
somebody
need
needs to make a motion.
Go in.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
Yes, please, and you have to
Thank you.
invite Dan and I into the
Yeah,
executive.
I invite Jan and Dan to be.
So the motion for executive session with Deanna and Dan to attend. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, so
Dan, can you stop?
we're out of executive session. I'll note that no votes were taken during the executive session.
And that Kathy's no longer on the meeting.
Apparently not.
Okay, so she left the meeting at, oh my gosh, 7:15.
Do you have any staff report? It says none here.
Not really. We're really busy. We're doing a lot of reviews for upcoming activities here, these proposals that are here. We have another application for next month as well, which came in too. It's not on the agenda, but it's automatically received. It'll be on the next month. It came in the last couple of days. So we've got very busy calendar coming up. That's our staff report. Dan, anything else to add? Oh, next Wednesday night, is the
Downtown Norwich Mobility Study Public Meeting at Otis Library.
was it 5 to 7? Is that what it is?
Yes, 5 to 7 up in the community room.
So,
It's a mobility study. It's about how we move people around in the city, especially downtown. We had a grant, that through SCOG, and the consultant is VHB. So we've been working really closely with them. And Dan, because he's a transportation planner, has been really our lead for the city, him and Public Works. So if you can come, I sent an email tonight to you, all of you, with the information on it.
What's that date?
Next Wednesday, the 25th. All right, but I sent the email out tonight.
mobility meeting.
Mobility study, yep, yep, it's, yep, they want public comment on it.
Okay, is that it?
Dan, anything?
I don't have anything, nope.
Oh,
Dan, we still on?
Yes,
okay,
Okay,
any other comments for you on that thing?
me? No.
okay. There being no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn now.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ella,
I'll second it.
second by Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So the meeting is adjourned at 7:24.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, everyone.